Hi guys, this is Casual, the NerdHammer.net Battle Report, and this is Game 3 of the Christmas tournament at Outside the Box Games, and Mike prefaced this tournament with saying, bring your fun list, bring your crazy stuff, because a lot of weird stuff's going to happen with Santa Claus and the random chart and everything. But here in the Northeast, fun lists are brutal lists, and here's my opponent. You'll see this in, I think, round 2 of Anthony's game, and poor Eric, he didn't move once throughout the entire tournament. So round 3, he gets me on the same table. And here is a fun list in the Northeast. We got 2 steam tanks. We got 4 demigriffs, a small unit of knights with a level 4 on life, and big homie Franz with a big knight bus with BSB in there. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough list for me. I think my game plan is heroic killing blow steam tanks, deal with the demigriffs with multiple lances, and avoid big homie Franz with everything, and try to squeak out a win based on victory points while leaving his knight bus alone. So that's the plan. Let's see how we can execute. On my left side, I have my Treb. I have a unit of Knights Errant with my level 2 of Beasts, with the knight that can charge an extra d6, and my anti-hero's knight is in there. On the right side, this is my unit of Knights of the Realm with Pally BSB. I got my heroic killing blow general in there, my level 4 of Undeath. I have some archers over here, my Peg Knights supporting the archers, another Treb, and my Knights Errant on the right side. If I need the Knights Errant to chaff up or get in a fight with big homie Franz, that's what we'll do, but otherwise I'm going to try to avoid him as much as possible. So this time I don't get turn 1 being Bretonnia, which is, I'm pretty used to that. So Dwellers goes off, I can't stop it, it's irresistible. Yeah, so takes off a bunch of my knights, nothing I could do about it. And I have 2 scrolls in this list, by the way, which I don't mention because I don't even think I ever used both of them in the game. Maybe this game I do. Can't really remember. But yeah, so I do have 2 scrolls in this list, which is pretty awesome for magic defense. But he pushes that one through, and I can't do anything about it. So in this scenario, we get 12 rerolls. The 12 rerolls of Christmas. You can reroll any die you want. We ended up getting a bonus one, so we had 13 rerolls, and already going into my first turn I am down 5 rerolls. I have 8 left. So over here, not sure what that is a picture of. I don't know. Anyway, turn 1 Bretonnia. So I decide to charge out my heroic killing blow Lord, get him in the steam tank. I'm hoping to get an overrun in that steam tank if I happen to heroic killing blow this one. I push this lance up like so. After it's taken some beatings, I'm okay. If he wants to bring his mage in, I have paladins to take care of that. His demigriffs are in a tough spot after the way his steam tanks rolled up, so I'm really feeling safe with this lance at this time. I like the distance here, especially with my extra d6, so I decide to just move up. He's kind of chaffed up himself, so I'm not really too afraid, and I give myself enough distance there to hopefully get into the demis next turn. Over here, I fly my Peg Knights. Yeah, my idea is I am not engaging big homie Franz, but I don't know if in retrospect maybe I should have. Maybe I should just threw 3 lance in the front and say let's grind. But then I have 2 units of demigriffs and 2 steam tanks to deal with. It's tough. I'm trying to break the army up in pieces. I'm hoping that you put a lot of faith into heroic killing blow, but that's the only thing I have to deal with steam tanks. I mean, okay, yeah, I can drop Trebs on them, and maybe through 3 or 4 turns I can kill one. I don't know. Just not liking the matchup, and trying to determine how I best can face it. So these brave little peasants are going to go up and tell big homie Franz they're not afraid of him. And I move my Knights Errant Lance over in the corner, and they're hiding like a bunch of girls. Over here, I do land a Treb. I only get 2 knights for my effort. And my heroic killing blow Lord gets a killing blow on the Treb and kills it. Gets a 10-inch overrun into the other steam tank. I mean, that could not have gone better. yeah, that plan executed very well. I think I'm lined up in a way that his demigryphs can't even get in, so that's pretty huge. Yeah, that could not have worked out better for me. So turn 2, I'm already down to only 2 rerolls left, and the grinds get through and kill my heroic killing blow lord. I think that too was actually after I used everything possible to try to save the heroic killing blow lord from dying to grinds, but it just wasn't enough, and he gets through. That is so unfortunate. Over here, big homie Franz does go in and kill the archers. His reform, he was kind of pinned up. He couldn't reform in any way that would be useful in trying to block my Knights Errant if, I guess he just faced a Knights Errant, I should say. Turn 2, Bretonnia. Yeah, take both lances in and make it on the long charge. I really like this. I've fought this before, and, you know, Paliwall does go through and does pretty well against demigryphs, especially with them being out of range of leadership or a BSB reroll. Leadership 8 is definitely failable, and it would be modified leadership 8 depending on how many wounds I do. So that's pretty nice. And over here I take the Peg Knights into his unit, and I lose a Peg Knight somehow, which sucks. I think maybe dangerous terrain, I had a wound on one, or are they all there? I'm not sure. Oh no, they are all there. Okay. So yeah, I take him in there. Hopefully I can do some wounds to that unit, take in some attacks at his level 4. I was surprised that he left that open. I don't really know how that fight works. I mean, Peg Knights are known to bounce off of things, so. And in a big leadership roll to see if I can march, I pass it, and like 2 speeding cars on the freeway, I just go right by big homie Franz. So yeah, I'm not really excited about putting a Knight Errant's lance right into the front of him, so I decided to go around him. Let's see how that works. And these brave bowmen decided to go up and chaff up these demigryphs. And after combat, yeah, I break and run down the demigryphs. My one lance does get off the board, but this lance does not, which sucks because, of course, the steam tank's just going to turn and smash into him. And once the steam tank's in there, I don't have a heroic killing blow lord. I'm going to be wounding it on 6s, and it's going to have a good armor save, and it's going to probably mean that lance is stuck for the rest of the game. Turn 3 with the blurry dice picture. And demigryphs go into the bow. And as you see, last turn, I think I only killed 1 or 2 knights. He did stick around with leadership 10 rollable right around with big homie Franz. And yeah, so now my Peg Knights are looking at a rear charge from the big man, so that's not going to go good for them. And of course the steam tank does what it does best, and that's slam into the side of a unit of knights. That's not good for me. After combat, I reform, trying to get as many attacks on the steam tank as possible. I do have three characters up there, and my level 2 obese is snug in the back. After combat here, yeah, they break the Peg Knights, and of course they fly right off the board, and these guys are just having a meeting in the woods saying, what should we do next, Carl? Demigryphs, make sure we're working the bowman, of course. Turn 3. Bretonnia. So, yep, Knights Errant don't want anything to be a part of anything that's going on over here, so I reform and make it swift, so they're starting to threaten the flank of the demigryphs if they can ever catch them. Over here, my other lance does come back on the board and don't do too much. Oh, I do get a casket up, so yeah, a casket makes an appearance. And not much happening with the grind with the steam tank. Turn 4, I guess this is Empire. Grind goes on, he puts a wound on one of my paladins, I believe, and brings his demigryphs over to threaten the flank of the front or the flank of my other 2 lances. And his mage decides to run away, and he was able to regrow 1 knight, so now he's going to have a lookout serve from my Treb, which is unfortunate. And big homie Franz is going around the building. Turn 4, I shoot a Treb and take off 1 after he passes his lookout serve, so that's unfortunate. Turn 5 Demigryphs. Yeah, Demigryphs. Empire. I ended up, what I did with my lances, this lance here, I brought one pally out to chaff up the Demigryphs, and he overran and went way too far, so he doesn't even have these guys in his front arc. This lance, I scooted right around Big Homie Franz to threaten his level 4. And I pull my Lure of Undeath guy out and tuck him behind this lance here. I'm hoping that I can maybe, get some Lure of Undeath going. And yeah, there you can see the tip of my spear, the guys that are hiding. I think this is his turn. He's facing that way. Oh yeah, turn 5 Bretonnia, so that was his turn. I get a unit of zombies who suspiciously look like men-at-arms, and yep, that's how you conga line some zombies with Lure of Undeath. I give them the flank. There's 30 of them up there, so I think it was a sig spell with a token, maybe a token. Yeah, thinking no, you don't need a token for 30. Yeah, so that's what happens there. Just trying to give my lance an extra turn to survive because we're all now here at turn 5. Yeah, so that worked out pretty well. And over here, this lance goes into his wizard's unit. The points are pretty close. If I score a wizard and a unit, things are pretty close. So, I'm just trying to get a couple points here and there. I ended up refacing the nice errant lance to threaten this unit here also. So I'm hoping, yeah, you can see those guys there. So I'm hoping that if these guys can hold one turn, I am on the charge. I have a champion in there. If I can get a couple wounds through, banner to banner, that I might be able to hold and then crash into the flank on turn 6. So Eric being a smart player, he charges Big Homie Franz out. That's going to be interesting. I do have my anti-heroes knight or Lord in there, so I'm going to be taking a challenge because how else am I going to get wounds through? So we're going to be challenge the big guy out and see what happens. And the Demigryphs come up. Yeah, they're not going to be able to do anything because that's turn 6. And turn bottom of 6 for Bretonnia. Nothing happens in our pillow fight. No, actually, I think he gets my lord in the pillow fight between him and Karl Franz. But in the magic phase, I do get a Terrorgeist up, and I do scream at Karl Franz, and I was able to get 2 wounds on him, but he ward saved both of them. That would have been awesome if I could have Terrorgeist screamed him off the table. That would have been epic. But yeah, the casket just sits tight. Nothing didn't really help me. I had some bad magic phases. So at the end of the game, it was a loss. It wasn't that bad of a loss. I think there was about 370 point difference. I did end up getting his mage unit and running it down at the end of the game, so that was a helpful swing. If I could have netted Karl Franz, we were looking at a dead draw right there. I'm gonna be honest. I played like a bitch this game because I just did not. What do you do? Do you really want to go into that bus with a couple Night Lances while you have Demigryphs floating around? I don't see it as beneficial. The way I had to attack it was try to get as many points without touching that bus as possible, and that's what I went for. And I was telling Eric the whole game, I'm like, I'm playing like such a bee, but this is what I have to do to win. And you're playing against a bus. You can go one of 2 ways. Just try to absolutely smash the bus, or try to get everything else and swing the points your way. But at the end of it, it was a loss. I think it was a 16-13 loss, and he got some bonus points. I'm not 100% sure if that's correct. But at the end of the tournament, I'm nowhere near the top 3 anyway, so the points really didn't matter too much. But at the end of the tournament, it was, to my surprise, I net best painted with my Bretonnians, which I think the only reason I did was the people that had the really nice looking armies. Since it was supposed to be a fun tournament, they brought some things that maybe weren't painted, and the only way you can win is if you have everything painted, which I did. I did have proxy for my undead, but it is an undead wizard, so she looked undead as being a demon. But it was a fun tournament. I'm glad Mike was able to run the tournament. It's always a good time to go in outside the box games. It's a full day for us, so when we go down, we definitely want to have some good games with some great people, and it's always worth the trip. I leave at 8:30 in the morning, and I don't get back till 10:30 at night, 11 sometimes, and every single time I get back, it's still worth the trip. So as long as he keeps putting on good events and has great players there, we're going to make the trip every time. So, well, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed seeing Bretonnia. I'm going to hopefully run them some more. I got some good ideas with this Lore of Undeath. I think it just, for armies that have a limited selection of lores, I think it brings another dimension to that army, and I think Bretonnia definitely falls into that category, with the prophetess only being heaven's life and light. Or not light, yeah, I wish. Beast. So I'm going to work with it. I'm going to tweak the list a little bit. I think giving me a lore that has some combat buffs would be huge. And I have a really nice selection of spells and a nice selection of units to res. I think Bretonnia could be really interesting with the Lore of Undeath. I think it's one of the armies that has good potential to use that lore to its capacity. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to play some more games. Like I said, this was just like a precursor. I really thought of it on Friday, and I'm just like, well, let's do it, because I was looking for something different anyway, other than just taking some demons down again and putzing around with them. But hey, thanks for watching, guys. I wish you and your families a great Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Celebrate it with love in your heart, and I wish you all the best, and a happy 2014 and a happy 2015 moving forward. I hope you guys have a great year, and I hope you keep coming back for more battle reports, and thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.